Let me move on to a related question, the Supreme Court. Mr. Schumer, most of the justices who voted to overturn Roe versus Wade had said during confirmation hearings that they considered abortion rights to be settled law that should be respected and accepted, after which they struck down the law at the first opportunity. Since the statements of Supreme Court nominees are made under oath, should there be consequences for being evasive or dishonest during nomination hearings?
Well, let me say the best thing that we can do right now to deal with these horrible MAGA justices, these 5 justices are so far away from where the American people are on the issue of choice, on the issue of concealed carry. They had said, and they struck down a law that said that our police could be notified when someone was concealing their gun. Now someone in South Carolina can get a gun, no questions asked, come to New York and endanger the safety of our citizens and our police. They also said that these coal-spewing plants, they said, the federal government shouldn't regulate them. So this is a MAGA court. What can we do about that MAGA court? The best thing we can do is what we have done in the Senate majority. We have put in 83 judges in the circuit courts and the district courts who will counterbalance these horrible MAGA judges. They are mainstream and they represent America. 2/3 are women. We hardly had women justices or judges in the past. We put in Ketanji Brown Jackson, first African American justice, and she will be able to be a counterbalance to these people. That is the best thing we can do, and we have done it, and even set a record or close to it of how many judges we have put on the bench at the circuit and district courts, which are very important because the Supreme Court only hears about 75 decisions a year.
Okay, so Mr. Pinion, same question. If judges come in and in their nomination hearing they say, well, we think it's settled law, then they act differently, should they be held accountable for that?
Oh, look, from my perspective, judges, jurists, we have to trust them that they're going to make decisions based on the facts and the letter of the law that is in front of them. I don't believe that you can have any type of litmus test for judges, and I don't believe that you should be having some type of post hoc, after the fact accountability for what they said during a hearing. I think what we have to talk about is the fact that we do not have Obama justices, we do not have Trump justices, we do not have Clinton justices. We just have justices who are doing their level best to interpret the law, to follow the letter of the law as they see fit. And I think the reality is, again, that the reason why Senator Schumer, he throws around the word MAGA this and MAGA that, even though he's the one who spent millions of dollars trying to elect MAGA people as nominees across this country, it's not because he thinks MAGA is bad. It's because he thinks that he's got a fair fight with MAGA and he can win. It's about power. It's not about people. And the problem with this state is that Chuck Schumer has spent 42 years making promises about what he will do tomorrow. Okay. It's always a day away, and you never trust a man who promises to do tomorrow what he had the power to do yesterday. 42 years of yesterdays are standing on this stage. He made some promises here 6 years ago. They haven't been met as well.
Okay.
I'd simply say to my opponent, it's not about longevity, it's about productivity. I have been more productive as a senator and as majority leader than just about anybody else.
You can take 10,000 steps in a day. If you haven't left your room, you haven't gone very far.
I've got a brief question for both of you. The number of justices on the Supreme Court changed 6 times before settling at the current total of 9, and that happened in 1869. Would you support increasing the number of Supreme Court justices from 9, Mr. Schumer?
Yeah, the bottom line again is I'm looking at what we can do right now, and that is to continue to put in these judges who will be judges and even justices like our new Supreme Court justice who will be counter to this right-wing MAGA.
So you're good with 9?
These are very, very, very important things to do now that can actually happen. As for the Supreme Court, we're going to have to explore the best avenues to deal with that MAGA court. And I will talk to my caucus about it, and in the new Senate we will explore those various paths.
Okay, including expanding.
Well, we're going to explore the best path forward.
Good. Mr. Pinion.
Explore is code for yes, so he is going to try to appease those AOCs of the world who want to expand the court. It's very clear. I believe that we are an imperfect nation founded by imperfect men with a perfect dream. And the things that have allowed us to get this far, to remedy some of the worst blemishes on the soul of humanity should not be tossed away. We should not be packing the Supreme Court. We should not be getting rid of the filibuster. We should not be trying to say that we are going to do away with the Electoral College. These are the things that are the checks on power, the guardrails that defend this country, that prevent the Senate from becoming the food fight that we have in the House. And in this particular moment, where the flames of division are burning so hot, the notion that you would try to inject more politics into what is the last bastion holding this country together is unconscionable, unimaginable. I think you should be ashamed.